All right, so in the wake of the Brooklyn Nets deciding that they did not want Kyrie to be a part-time player, sources close to Kyrie spoke to The Athletic and they tried to explain exactly what he was thinking. Among the things mentioned at the time were that Kyrie, quote, is not anti-vaccine. Later, that was underlined, quote, to be clear, Irving's stance is not believed to be anti-science, according to sources, end of quote. So let's see if I'm clear on this. He's not anti-vaccine and anti-science, but he's not getting the vaccine or following science. Instead, quote, to him, this is about a grander fight than the one on the court, and Irving is challenging a perceived control of society and people's livelihood, according to sources with knowledge of Irving's mindset. Quote, end of quote. And then this chaser, quote, Kyrie wants to be a voice for the voiceless, end of quote, one source said. All right, so naturally you might wonder, if the guy wants to be a voice for the voiceless, why isn't he speaking now? Why didn't he explain his thoughts at Media Day? And why is he speaking through anonymous sources right now if he wants to be a voice for the voiceless? The argument being that if you want to be a voice for the voiceless, you should, be a voice. Wouldn't it be the best idea to just have this guy speak for himself if you are a voice for the voiceless? So last night, he hops on IG, he goes Instagram Live, and he speaks. Yeah, it didn't go too well. Honestly, about halfway through, I was wishing for anonymous sources once again. Because whoever it was who was speaking on Kyrie's behalf without actually being Kyrie was a lot better than the actual Kyrie. And here's the thing. I'm of two minds when it comes to Kyrie right now. The responsible thing is to play some of his IG speech because an elite player on the best team in basketball deciding that he's not going to play is a very big story. It is. At the same time, man, it is so tired. It's a big story, but it's more of a tired story. He's getting really, really old. This guy's saying at Media Day that he was going to be there every day for his team while literally not being there for his team when he said it. That's not only just tedious and tired, it's a lie. I never thought that I would say this, but seeing Kyrie stuff last night had me wishing, yearning for the good old days of Urban Meyer, like 2 days ago. Bring back Herb. Let's talk more about Herb. Herb is actually more fun because at least Herb gives the world new stuff every single day. One day, Herb is quitting on his team. The next day, he's saying that his quarterback can't do a quarterback sneak. And then right after that, he's talking about having the greatest offense in NFL history when he has one of the worst teams ever. Kyrie, though, has been doing the same stuff for years. Listen, I don't doubt that he's sincere in his decision. I just don't care. He may truly believe what he's saying, but what he's saying makes no sense whatsoever. The less I have to talk about Kyrie, the better. I'll talk about it now, and then I'm really hoping that I don't have to talk about it ever again, because this is a very simple story. Story being this: there is a rule. There are consequences for not following the rule. Just like the game of basketball itself, there are rules. There are consequences for not following the rules. You can't just decide you're going to pick up the basketball and run down the floor with it, like football, without dribbling and shout, "Nope, nope, nope, my choice, and I should not be demonized for it." Well, yes, it's your choice. And no, nobody is demonizing you for it. They just think that you're an idiot. I'm not sure how many people are making Kyrie out to be a bad guy. They're just making him out to be a dumb guy or a confused guy or a guy who's just not making any sense. And a guy who's just kind of riffing without much logic behind it. All right, quote, "You think I really want to give up my dream to go after a championship?" Yes, I really do think that, because that's exactly what you're doing. Quote, "You think I really just want to give up my job?" Yes, because you're doing that too. "You think I really just want to sit at home and not go after the things with my teammates?" Yes, because you're also doing that. You might not be happy doing that. I mean, I hope you're happy, and I hope this decision does bring you peace. But all the things you're talking about are the consequences of your decision. If the things that you were mentioning were important enough, you would be vaccinated by now, and you would be with your team right now. They all did, but you're not. And then when he started talking about sacrifice and saying that it would be easier to be chilling at home with his family, I mean, isn't that exactly what you're doing? You've got that whole thing twisted here. Your teammates are the ones who made a sacrifice. They're the ones doing what they need to do to be there for each other. You're not. They're the ones who aren't at home chilling with their families. You're at home. They're the ones choosing to perform. You aren't. And do I think that you want to give up because of a mandate and because you don't have accommodations? Yes, I do. That's how a mandate works. That's a mandate because that's a city that was devastated by COVID in the early months of the pandemic.